Hey, welcome back to the show. No,
You could.
you're wearing a different shirt today.
Was it 65? How close was I to 65?
40. No, this one was 30, 38.
Okay. American
Yes.
plus fees. So 65. Bang on. I'm literally bang on.
No, you're not. You're a little high.
I'm just $6.50.
You're a little high.
$6.50.
You're a little high.
Okay.
You're wearing a new shirt today.
Yeah.
This shirt has not been seen on the show, I don't think. Usually you wear your black one.
I thought about
or your
I was
blue
going to wear
one.
my hat, but I
Don't own one.
forgot it at home.
Okay.
And then I just I did my hair. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm distracted by your hat. Sorry.
Welcome back to the Greg and Tim Show.
Get your earballs ready. Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Take time to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Here are your hosts, Greg and Tim.
Tim, why are you distracted by my hat?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's a new hat, so
Yes.
it's throwing me.
Brand new.
Brand new.
I
Yeah.
just put it on.
I just guessed as to the price tag on it, and I was pretty
And
close.
you were
If I
wrong.
was on the Price is Right, I would have got the showcase because
I think it was 54 Canadian is what
Oh.
it came out to.
so okay.
Plus shipping.
So I was over. I would have lost the.
But it's
showcase.
I really like it.
Yeah.
Because I like hats.
Yeah.
But also I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
That everybody loves to hear stories that
Yeah.
are quick.
Well, they like quick ones.
I went online
Yeah.
right after they won because that's when all the stuff goes online.
Okay. To go to the
And
World to buy they. You mean
To
the
buy
Jays
the on
winning,
lids.ca.
beating Seattle in this Game 7. I'm just saying. I'm just for people that don't know what you're talking about. They. You can't just say they.
Well, I was going to.
Well, you can't premise it. You have to. I'm premising it for you.
So at the end of Game 7, when the Jays won, I went on lids.ca
Yeah.
and I put this in the cart and I put another hat in the cart.
Yeah.
And I was watching the thing happen. You
Yeah.
and Schmathy were
Yeah.
over here and we were talking and
Yeah.
watching. So then as you guys were leaving, I looked in the cart and this hat had been removed from the cart.
Right.
And I'm like, how did Lorraine get to the cart?
Yeah.
But she didn't. They were sold out already.
Oh.
Like 10 minutes later,
Yeah.
after the game, they were already sold out in lids.ca.
Wow.
So I quickly went to lids.com,
.com, the old American.
the American version of
Yeah.
it, and
Paid the
thinking
tariff.
the Americans won't be buying these hats. And I was right. The
Yeah.
Americans weren't buying these hats.
Yeah.
They are sold out now.
Right.
But at that moment, I was like, click, 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 get
Yeah.
the same hats.
Yeah.
And this one shipped.
Yeah.
The other one has not yet.
You got two.
Yes.
Okay.
I got the regular hat, like the Blue Jays hat,
Right.
with the World Series patch.
So you spent over $100 on hats,
hats.
and you were strictly not allowed to buy any more hats. So,
But
you bought two.
here's the reason why I bought the two.
Yeah.
The Jays haven't been in the World Series in 32 years.
Yeah.
So if I don't get it now,
There's
when
an
am I gonna
exception.
get
So
it?
there's a clause
There's a clause.
buying the new hats.
And
Yeah.
I only have a few hats. So I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
why I can't buy
I
any
think
more.
it's you have about 6 or 7 hats.
And this one's a different style. This one is called 970.
right.
I haven't had one of this style before, and I like
Right.
it. It's got this like line across here.
Or do you have 67 hats?
167 hats. 6, 7, 6, 7.
Anyway, Sorry, I'm distracted by your hat. I don't know why. I think it's the blue and the black and the white.
And the gold.
I'm just
and the red and the-
drawn into the hat. There's
Yeah.
so many colors.
I'm glad. You had
I'm not
topics-
saying it's good. I haven't decided if I like your hat,
Oh, I don't care.
but
if
it's
you like it.
distracting. I think you have to take your hat off.
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it on.
All right.
You had some topics for today, Tim, and this is an episode that we're taping.
Yeah.
Before the World Series is over, so I don't know if the Jays have won or lost. but
Before
by the
we're
time
taping
this
before
goes
game
on-
3.
By the time this goes on, we will know if they won or lost. We'll be either sad or happy.
Right.
Probably sappy.
That's right. Because no. Yeah, you're right. Because game 7
Is
is
Saturday.
Saturday. You're
Yeah.
less than a week. That's insane.
I know.
Baseball plays so many games in so many days. I'm just
Whereas
hockey.
hockey, it's 14 days for 7 games.
They'll even have like between games 1 and 2, even if it's in the same city, which it obviously is. They'll
There's
have
a break.
a break of a game, and they haven't even changed the cities. And then when they change cities, they add a second day.
Sometimes they add a second day, sometimes they don't. Depends on
Most
where
of the time,
they're
it's the
going.
second day. So you have 3 days between games.
Yeah.
So these series in hockey go on like
Forever.
forever. And baseball, it's like, okay, let's get it over with. We're done. And And we're done.
Baseball playoffs start at the beginning of October and they end at the end of October.
If we had listened to Schmatthew, remember when he suggested we go to LA because the Jets are playing in LA? I believe early the following week or something
This
like that.
weekend
They're
coming.
doing a West Coast tour. If we had taken his, agreed to go on that trip, we would be in LA
right now.
Probably not for a few more days, but when
the Jays leave, we
could
get
be
there.
in games around
The Jays
game
are there
6
until
of the World Series.
Wednesday, and we get there on Thursday.
And that's when, and you could get a ticket and save money if
Game
you see the
6
game
of the World Series is in Toronto.
Yes. Well, game 5, we would move it around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a couple topics. Can you just list off the topics that we have
Are we
for
doing
today?
both?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't clarify. You said
one of the topics is how young is too young to get engaged. Tim, you have specific experience with this right now.
That's number 1.
And that's the number 1 topic. And number 2 topic is...
We're going to talk about gambling in sports.
Right.
Because...
You were caught gambling on the NBA playoffs.
Well, you have video proof of that.
Yes.
So I guess so.
You know what to do.
I think you weren't gambling, though. You were doing the opposite of gambling.
Was I?
You were fixing them.
Well, what would happen is if you're fixing something, you're fixing something to gamble on it.
Yeah.
You don't fix like the 1919 World Series with the famous Black Sox, right?
Yeah.
The White Sox. You would fix the series and then go gamble on what you just fixed. So you're doing both. I would be doing both. If I'm putting money into a referee's pocket.
You're not necessarily the one gambling, though.
No, you would.
The fixer doesn't have to do the gambling. The fixer gets paid.
The fixer would also benefit from the gamble. They're in the end. Why would they not gamble on it? They're fixing it to gamble on it. It's true.
Okay. So which topic do you want to go with first today?
Well, you said the first one. You said the first one was the first one. So let's start with the first one.
How young is too young to get engaged?
That's not exactly the question I want to ask, but I could. So
what is the exact question?
I'm hoping the post hasn't happened yet, but over the weekend, this past weekend, my middle child Taylor got engaged.
Congratulations!
Thank you very much. She is
the
first.
I know this has been a long time coming for you.
Yes. Well, I would
June?
time. Well, let's not get into that. Let's not get into that. But I'm going to get in trouble if we talk about that. So 3 children, all daughters.
Middle child's a daughter.
Got engaged.
The blonde one.
Schmaler.
No, we can call her Taylor because she's been on the show.
Okay, there you go. She got engaged.
Yep.
To her boyfriend. His name is Julian.
Thank goodness it was her boyfriend.
I guess now it's fiance. That's crazy for me to say that.
Julian once did sound for us.
He did. I kind of forgot that. Yeah, that's right. And
now nobody does sound for us.
No, that's right. It seems so long. Remember when Lorraine would come down and do sound
and listen to the podcast and actually care?
I remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Brandon, remember when Brandon would do it?
How's that guy doing? Speaking of,
he's married now.
He's married now, and we can kind of talk about him after we talk about this scenario here. So Taylor got engaged. She's 21.
Yep.
Turns 22 not till April, so that's about what, 4 or 5 more months.
Another thing that happened while we weren't taping was my son got married.
In that time period, before we started in that break. That's right. Yeah.
Anyway,
so she's 21.
She gets engaged at 21 years old.
We don't know the date she's going to get married. I
thought it was January 2026.
I'm pretty sure it's not January. Hey, that would be fine with me.
Would it?
Yeah, because then it would cost less. Which is another thing. Well, because typically, if you're trying to get a venue short notice, you're not getting a really fancy
or you're
one.
Paying extra to get.
No, they're not available.
You're paying
maybe in
dollars.
January because that's not prime time to get a venue.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's 21, doesn't turn 22.
Her fiance is
April 22.
22.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they, are.
So they'll be 23 and 22 when they get married.
Let's call it around 22, 21, 23, whatever it is, right?
Okay.
And so now the trend is that's too early. It's too young to get engaged. People have to go to university. They have to graduate.
Have to have children.
They well not okay. But a lot of people think that's too young to get married.
Yeah.
I mean, I myself got married when I was 26, so I wasn't young.
Yeah.
But that's the thought process. And I think you told me that one time too. You said, well, that's too early to get young. And your son got married. How old was he last year?
24.
24. So a little bit older, but still in that.
Yeah.
I think the average age has been growing steadily over the last few decades, right? To the point where something it's like high 20s is the average for people to get married.
What are your thoughts? You want them to be younger, older?
I think the idea that
Should they get engaged when they're 15?
idea that there is a set age that people should get engaged is ridiculous.
What's an ideal age?
And I think everybody's different.
No, there's an ideal age, and then there's, what's the average ideal age you think people should get engaged?
That's a loaded question. That's assuming that we're talking about person X, Y, Z. Someone could be 820 and be ready for marriage, and someone could be 40 and not be ready for marriage.
Okay. What are the factors that make them not ready?
Immaturity.
Okay, maturity.
So someone would give you the argument of, when you're young, and maybe this is more a male thing. Your brain hasn't
Fully developed.
You are still kind of a idiot. Someone would argue that when you're 50 and you're a male, you're still a moron.
Who would argue that, Tim?
A lot of females.
Oh.
So maturity is one of those things.
Maturity. Okay, so let's say maturity.
Yeah.
Maturity's one.
Yeah.
What's another one?
Upbringing.
What does that mean?
That means not everybody has good parents that have instilled the proper values in which that you can go into a healthy marriage.
Okay, so let's say, they can't change their upbringing, no matter
True.
how much older they get.
Yeah.
So I would knock upbringing off of that because you can't change that.
It's still a factor. Whether this, it may not be a fair factor, but it's still a factor.
It's a fear factor.
Fear factor. Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't change their upbringing no matter how old they get. They could be 35 years old. They still got the same upbringing.
Right.
Maturity, I get.
Yeah, but when you're in
Maturity
your early 20s,
makes
typically
sense.
that's a big one, right?
When you're what?
When you're in your early 20s, though, that is a factor. Whether you're 35, that's a different. You have had 10 years to mess up your own life.
Okay. What else goes into it?
Those are the two big things for me. I mean,
Really, those are the two big things.
you could,
That's what like you can't get married until you're mature enough and you've been brought up properly.
You asked me the qualifications.
Brought up properly and mature
I'm not
enough.
saying that. I think that
Those are the two main you said. You just said that.
Yeah. The two. There's others, but
They need to be mature enough.
Yeah.
And be brought up properly.
not enough. No one's ever mature enough or ready. Do you think most people, if you
What's your gauge of mature enough?
Let's put it this way: people that are in their 70s have been married for, let's say, 50 years, and if you were to ask them if they were ready to get married when they got married, let's say it was 20 years old, they got married,
Mhm.
they would have said, "No, we weren't ready for marriage."
But I'm asking you, what qualifies somebody to get married younger?
Right?
And you're saying maturity
no,
and upbringing.
No. You're asking me that question,
Yes.
and I'm saying that's not a fair question to ask.
What qualifies people to get married younger isn't a fair question to ask. The question that we're
That
asking
was
is
your question.
No, I said the one that you said that was loaded was how old should you be
Yes.
to get married? And you said that's a loaded question. And I said, okay, well then let's figure out what the qualifications are to get married younger.
This is my point. That everybody's an individual.
Okay.
And when you say someone is 18, are they ready to get married? And the factors these are the two people. If are these two people, how do they work together?
I think your perception of people being ready to get engaged and mine are different.
Right. Okay, let's hear your thoughts.
Well, honestly, I think that anybody that hasn't lived on their own yet should not get engaged.
Right.
Because they're either living with their parents,
right,
or they're living with their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Right.
Now, living on your own means living on your own or having a roommate that's like your best friend or one of your friends is your roommate. Like that's living on your own.
You want people to pay some bills first.
You got to get used to being on your own.
Yeah.
And you have to have the freedom of living on your own.
Yeah.
And not with your boyfriend in the house, not with your girlfriend living in the house, living on your own.
So to learn how to
taking care of your own laundry, taking care of your own dishes, taking care of your own grocery shopping, taking care of your own cooking,
right?
All those things you need to live on your own.
To learn how to live with somebody, you have to know how to live on your own.
No, you can live with people.
That's a contradiction.
No, you can live with people.
Yeah.
But not live with the person you're going to live with for the rest of your life.
Right.
Because what happens with people is that they get together with their boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then the roles start to just get split.
Right.
Oh, you can take care of my laundry. My mom used to do it. You can do it now.
Wouldn't that be something?
Dishes, my mom used to do it.
Yeah.
You can do it now.
Wouldn't that be something that a 5-minute flow chart would take care of?
Like it doesn't, though.
You could sit down and say, okay,
you're
going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm not sure
so
that's something.
The other thing that differs between me and you is that I also think that they should either be completed in their post-secondary school or have a career/job that pays enough to make sure they can live on their own.
So you're making an economic argument.
Purely
economic.
And being able to live on their own in general. Because as soon as you go to live on your own with your boyfriend or girlfriend, you've gone from one cohabitation with your parents where your parents help take care of you to another one. And if you can't distinguish what the difference is between living with your parents and living with a spouse, then you're going to fail.
I understand that point of view. And it's probably a good thing for someone to figure out how to balance their budget on their own, how to do their own laundry, how to take care of themselves before they take care of, you could say take care of a spouse, but typically you take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my personal opinion, let's say you move out when you're 20. You've had 20 years to gauge what your parents' marriage was like. You take what you take, you spit out what you spit out, and you learn marriage and your expectation based on what you've seen for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And to say, I'm going to take a year to learn all new habits, I would think most people would default, for good or bad, to what they've seen for those 20 years. Whether you've paid bills for a year, whether you've done your own laundry for a year, you're just going to go back to that blueprint of what, in your brain, what marriage is like. Again, it's scary for some people who have seen.
I think you're lost on this conversation.
No, I'm not.
Because honestly, if I lived on my own, I have to get the laundry done.
I get it.
I have to do the dishes.
I get it.
I can't rely on somebody else.
What you're saying is you're
changing
your brain default to say, to teach yourself, to train yourself, to get ready. It's like a marathon. I'm going to study really hard, and I'm going to train for this marathon, and in a year or 2 or whatever, how many years that takes to learn how to be self-sufficient, I'm going to be ready for marriage. And what I'm saying is the only problem with that is you're probably in the end going to default to what you've seen for those previous 20. That's my point. I hear your point. I get it. And there's probably some truth in what you're saying. I'm just saying, I think
you're saying that they need to be mature and have a good upbringing. Those are the two things that you said.
No, I said two main things.
Yeah.
Main
those are the two main things. So financial security isn't a main thing.
I could name 3, 4, 5 other things that are underneath.
No, you said those are the two main things.
Main, yes.
Maturity
that means these are secondary things.
And good upbringing. Maturity, good upbringing. Those are the two main things. Financial security is not a main thing.
Well, if you had a good upbringing, don't you think part of that is learning how to deal with finances?
No.
Okay, let's say you had a good upbringing.
Not learning how to deal with finances. Being financially secure,
right?
Having jobs, having something that would pay you enough to be able to live on your own.
You know how many people in 1940 grew up and had nothing, and developed a loving, awesome marriage?
Yep.
What they didn't have anything.
So what you're saying is you're allowed to get married and sleep on the street.
I'm saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying that shouldn't be one of the main things. To start. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to sleep on the street.
Wow.
No, I'm not saying
I gotta ask the audience real quick here, though.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me or with Tim right now? I will, because he doesn't think that a main thing is financial.
No. To be fair, no, I'm not saying it's not important, and I'm not saying it shouldn't.
I didn't say you didn't say it wasn't important. You said the main things are maturity and upbringing.
Let me ask the people out there: do you think two people can start with nothing? can start with nothing. Again, this is start. I'm not saying to end with nothing, to not have any financial goals.
Nobody's saying anything about ending with nothing.
Right, but I'm saying, you're saying before you get married, you need to have a nest egg.
I did not.
You're saying you need to have some financial stability.
Yes, that's not a nest egg. That's a job.
Yeah.
A career, possibly.
I'll agree with you. Yes. A job, yes. We're in agreement on that. You probably should be employed. Absolutely, 100%.
But not just employed, though. Like in a job that will pay you more than minimum wage.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay?
Yeah.
But maturity and upbringing, those are the two. You got those?
You should. I think
if you're mature enough you were brought up in a nice, stable, good home.
I will even go further.
You're good to go. Get married.
I will even go further than that. I think it is very important to have a secure job when I think you should have a job before you shouldn't date someone seriously if they don't have a job. Like, you should be employed to seriously date someone, not just get married. Mm-hmm. But that to me, having a secure job is much more than just having a paycheck. Anyone can have a paycheck, but when you have a job, you're showing you're reliable.
Yep.
You're showing that you're willing to do things to help the household. That shows other things. It's not just about bringing home a check.
Yeah.
Because lots of deadbeat, people bring home a check, but they also,
because they didn't have a good upbringing and they're not mature.
No, they waste it every weekend, every second weekend they waste that paycheck, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with you. They should have a job, and the better the job, obviously, the better it is, right? But a job, sure.
And I agree with you that maturity is important.
Yeah,
maturity is definitely important because you're gonna have arguments.
Yes.
And you have to be able to get past those arguments. You have to be able to realize that the arguments are, something that may or may not be solved in this day. But you also have to be mature enough to understand the world. You have to be mature enough to take on responsibilities.
Yeah.
A lot of people will take on pets when they get engaged because that's their new responsibilities.
Yeah.
So I do believe that people are getting engaged young.
Well, they're not. Statistically, they're not getting engaged young. They're getting engaged
in
older.
the circle that we know. There's a lot of younger engagements, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna not be good.
Yeah.
It just means that they're gonna have to work extra hard to get to a point together.
Yeah.
That somebody who's 25 and 26 getting married may already have established.
Yeah, and my point is that it is not the age; it's the individuals that are that age. Like, to say it as a blanket statement, 18-year-olds should never get married. I don't agree with that statement. Right? The
18 is very young to get married.
Hey, back in the day,
they also only lived till 65.
That's a horrible correlation.
Why?
Apples and grenades.
Well,
so
no,
they live till they're lesser, so they got to get married when they're 13. Is it a mathematical
thing? I didn't say
thing?
13, 18.
I'm just saying. Well, actually, back in the day, they would get married at like 13, 14 years old, but that's different.
But you have to remember, life expectancy was different,
right?
So I think
now you are taking this on a weird path that we were going on.
Really?
Yeah.
So life expectancy being less, meaning that you start your life earlier. Also, back when people were 18, back in the late
back in the olden days,
the olden days, they were also working blue collar, hard jobs. Well, the wife was staying home. The man was providing, and housing was easily attainable, providing you worked in a blue collar factory job or somewhere that you could make a good living while your wife stayed home at that age.
Yeah.
That's not the same anymore.
No, it hasn't been for decades. So what your point is saying, and this is, I will grant you this point, is that people are not forced to grow up quickly now. So
because they live
typically
longer.
Stay more immature longer. And back 40, 50, 60 years ago, they were forced to grow up, find responsibility quicker, and to maybe mature earlier and be ready for marriage at an earlier age. Yeah. I would agree with that point as a whole. But it doesn't mean that now you could have a person who is very, very mature and ready for marriage at 18, 19, 20.
No, I'm not saying that you won't, but at the same time, life is much different these days.
Yeah.
Than it was back then.
For
so much more.
A good portion of the population. Some people have the same mentality now.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you think? What age is the perfect age to get engaged? And what are the things that you would say go into being ready to get engaged or to get married in general? And how long is the longest engagement you've ever known?
Oh, that's the other. There's a couple of side topics here, and that's one of them. The long engagements, like a couple years. I am not in favor of a long engagement. I mean, I don't have a choice now because I'm not going to get engaged again. So it's none of my business when how long someone wants to be engaged.
Like I got engaged and we got married a year and a half later.
Yeah, we got engaged and got married within 6 months.
Yeah, and Tammy was pregnant within 7.
Yeah. 8? No, it was more like 10.
10 months?
10, 11 months.
So you waited for 4 months? You waited a whole 4 months?
Yeah. There's a whole long story for that, but we won't share it here. It's not a bad story. It's actually a very.
Was it a long story or was it just a couple minutes?
No, it's another time. But it's a cool story.
Anyway,
and then
those are all the questions.
And then the other. Don't
forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're supposed to say that. And the other thing was, man, the costs of weddings, like I was like so excited. It's like, oh, that's so awesome. You're engaged. It's great. And then I'm a guy, so the back of my mind is like, it's going to be like a check here is coming.
Here's the worst part.
What?
The daughter that you have that gets engaged last is getting screwed big time.
Why? Because we're going to be out of money?
Jumping on.
We're all going to be out of money? No.
Taylor's jumping on that wagon.
And here's the question for everyone. What is the appropriate amount of money to give? Because typically this how it works, and this is not always how it works, but one side of the family gives certain amount of money or time or whatever it is. The other side gives certain amount of money, time or whatever. And then the couple, typically fills in the rest. And then you have this big, elaborate party that you invite way too many people for because you want presents.
And what's the typical amount of money you bring to a wedding?
So let's start with that. So it used to be when we got married, it was about $5,000. That was kind of I found
that you brought to a wedding as a gift.
No, sorry, that's a secondary question. But as one side of the family, I want to talk about that. So it was 5.
Okay.
Now it seems to be 10. It's up to $10,000.
Wow, that's up to you, I guess.
But that, as an average, obviously it's whatever, right? And if you could, I've been sending messages.
Why don't you trade in
I'm trying to see if they could do a destination wedding. Because then
less people go.
Because then
and you can go on a vacation.
We would go on a vacation, so the money I'm putting in, I get back with the destination. And the same thing for one of the other daughters. I'm trying to convince her to do a Japanese cruise and then get married on the cruise, so that I get a cruise.
And also less people go, you pay less.
It's really all about me here, which will not happen. None of these things will happen in my mind, but I can dream.
Yeah.
But yeah, the money. And so going back to your question. That too is gone up. I hear how much you're supposed to bring as far as a present or money to. What is it now?
I don't know. I think it's at least what the plate costs, which I think is about $100.
Oh, I've heard it's way more than 100 now.
Well,
I heard it's 250.
I know a lot.
I've heard it's 250
per person.
Yeah, no,
per couple.
Per couple.
So 125 each.
I guess so. Yeah. Maybe it was per person.
250 per person.
So what is the amount?
I honestly know that's not what most people give.
I've heard that amount has been skyrocketed.
Yeah.
So let us know out there if I'm way out to lunch. Listen, I've never been involved in one of my kids planning a wedding. So.
Am I invited?
Of course.
Oh,
yeah. Not Lorraine. We have to make some cuts, but
so just me.
Just you.
Okay, that's okay. Can we MC? Or can I MC?
Yeah, no.
Can you make the decision for Taylor?
No, you are strictly forbidden to MC. Yeah, and I thought of that too. Is like, man, I got to say a big speech. So yeah,
I can. Instead.
There's so many things going through my head.
You don't have to. I'll say it for you.
No, I'm gonna get Sora too to do it.
Oh man, the topic number 2 today.
I'm trying to think of how do you transition to these two topics.
So talking about money,
yeah,
and the cost of weddings.
All right, there we go.
How much does it cost to fix an NBA game these days?
Yeah, so the story broke And I told you, that a lot of people out there, white Canadians like you, don't follow the NBA.
I guess, yeah, I'm white.
They don't follow the basketball. So I have to tell you these stories because I do like basketball. And a week ago, I think it was, the head coach of the Portland Trail
Chauncey
Billups, who is
former basketball player.
Former awesome basketball player. If I'm not mistaken, he won a championship with the Pistons.
Yep.
Great point guard. He was arrested along with Terry Rozier, who plays for another NBA team, along with like 34 other people or something like that were involved in gambling in the illegal gambling. Sorry, I should specify illegal gambling in the
Not
NBA.
legal.
Specifically, Terry Rozier, they allege faked an injury in March of last year, so he would sit on the bench because he's a good player, so that their team wouldn't reach the point spread.
Yeah.
Which is how much you win by. And so that people would benefit, obviously.
So
you're not supposed to do that.
My Instagram has been flooded now with all of these fixed games for point spreads.
Yeah.
Remember that one game where LeBron James was wide open? And he's got his hand, and he's like waving and waving, and the guy's like dribbling around and dribbling, and then they like run out of time, and he's like, "What? I'm LeBron James. I'm right here. What's going on?" So they're saying that guy is one of the guys.
And when you hear stuff like this,
that guy got traded right after that.
So the second one was, again, Chauncey Billups, who has made hundreds of millions of dollars in the NBA. He's a very highly paid coach, yet he was used by illegal outfits, like mafia families in the United States.
Yeah.
And the whole scheme was he would lure really rich people into a card game to say, "Hey, come play cards with Chauncey Billups." And like, "Oh, that's really cool." But the problem is the games were rigged. So he's kind of used as a pawn to get people in, and they'd use machines to completely take their money illegally. I mean, you lose most of the time in gambling, but you're really you're guaranteed to lose at these games. These people were arrested. A head coach of the NBA arrested, and they didn't even allow him to go into headquarters himself. They took him in handcuffs and everything.
And this isn't even the first time the NBA has had a scandal about gambling.
And it seems like the NBA, more so than any league, gets caught with this. There was a referee a few years ago who was caught trying to fix games, taking money to fix games, point spread again.
Doesn't this make you feel like everyone's like, trust the refs, they're not doing it on purpose, they're not doing but then you get this happening.
Then it happens.
And then you get players that do it. Yeah. And then you're like, so like I'm supposed to trust that this is on the up and up.
Yeah.
But, Canadian teams in the NHL haven't won a Stanley Cup.
Now that's a larger trying to get the point spread in a single game is different than not allowing one of the 6 teams who play in Canada to win. That's a little different.
31 years.
That's comparing apples to grenades, in my opinion. Is it? Listen,
but I'm saying though, like, what can you trust?
Right.
Do I trust that Gary Bettman hasn't been the reason why the NHL has not won a Stanley Cup in Canada in 31 years?
Well, he is one of the reasons why they haven't won, because he's made the money so big that the Canadian teams with the Canadian dollar can't compete.
But he honestly has been in power for that 31 years.
Yeah, he's almost
so, like, what if he comes out of power and then all of a sudden
it's all about money.
Canada team
it's all about
wins,
the Benjamins,
and all of a sudden a Canada team wins the Stanley Cup?
That would be funny. Can it be the Jets? That'd be great.
That would be fantastic. But
yeah, I mean, if there really was rigging in hockey, like, can we rig it for our team? Like, can the Jays give a little? Like, if sports was rigged, maybe the Jays could contribute something to winning.
Apparently, they're not contributing anything to their players' home life, because Addison Barger is sleeping on a pull-out couch.
It's his choice. It's his choice.
But
they're weird. Athletes are strange.
Did you know that Trey Savage makes $57,000?
Because he's a rookie.
He makes $57,000.
Yeah. Well, so does...
Can you imagine trying to live in Toronto with $57,000?
Doesn't Ohtani make the same amount? It's all deferred, right?
But meanwhile, Max Scherzer makes $73 million.
I know you told me that because he's getting paid by like
four teams. Four teams. The
Yeah.
Nationals, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Jays. The Rangers and the Jays. No Dodgers.
Do you think all sports is... Sorry, that's a bad way to put that question. Do you think that all major sports, and even minor ones,
even cricket,
have some level of
fixing
100% on a small to medium to large way?
I bet you there's more fixing than we know. And here's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
The betting in sports has become so dominant compared to what it used to be.
Right.
Pete Rose is allowed to go into the Hall of Fame now.
Yeah.
Posthumously.
Yeah.
He gets to go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Michael Jordan gets to go play baseball.
And that's a whole story.
When he gets caught betting. And I know it's a conspiracy.
Allegedly.
But seriously, it all goes together.
Yeah.
But
look it up. I don't want to get into it, but look it up.
Bet.net. Bet360.
There's a whole story which I
PlayNow.com.
totally
all of these betting websites that don't sponsor our podcast should.
Right.
And before every baseball game now, before every hockey game now, the pregame show has a betting component to it.
Yeah, that's true.
And how
the government gets they got to get their money too.
How do you trust it though? Like,
right.
You see all this other stuff happen and you're like, is the fix in? Is this going on?
Yeah.
How do you trust it? Do you bet on the fix?
Yeah.
Oh, Crosby's over under is 1 goal for tonight. I'm going to bet on the over because the fix is in. He'll score 3.
Right.
Who knows?
It'd be good to have you'd be good to get the insider because people do get the inside scoop, eh?
Or you're going to love this.
Yeah.
You're going to love this, Tim.
Yeah.
Are we living in a simulation and everybody already knows what's going to happen except for the humans? So all the BlackRock people and everybody up there in the world knows what's going to happen.
Right.
The ones that control the world know what's going to happen except for the humans like us.
Sure.
So,
in an effort not to get into that conversation, yes, you're right.
And I think that's why the Mandela effect happens.
Yeah.
Because they
keep
right. ripping the time continuum.
Greg, you are correct. Just so we don't have to get into it, you are correct. Everything that you say now is right.
So what do you think? Do you trust sports?
Yeah.
Do you trust that there's no fixes, or do you think that there's fixes? Which sports do you think have the most fixing other than the NBA? Because everybody knows the NBA has it.
Or maybe they just get caught. Maybe
they're the ones
they're just
caught.
too dumb and everyone's smarter than their leagues.
There is a lot of videos out there in the NFL where people have clear shots at Patrick Mahomes, and all of a sudden they take the wrong route, wrong direction.
I will say this. I think, this is my personal opinion, I could be wrong. I think it's easier
You're wrong.
to fix something like a point spread in basketball than it is in any other sport. And that's probably why they get caught more. I don't know.
Football too.
I think it's a little harder. The speed is, I mean, you could, because you always have the ball. There's only one person that can have the ball. And I know the same thing is in football too, but you could control it a little easier. I think you have more control, and you can go speeds. So that's the problem. The NBA, they go so slow half the time.
Kickers have a ton of control over that ball.
Yeah.
Point afters. Oh, it's supposed to be only 6-point spread.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss this field goal.
But you can call fouls. I know you can call fouls in every sport, but I do think it's a little easier in the NBA to fix.
So do you trust sports? Do you trust watching sports? Do you say yay sports when you watch them, Joel?
Yeah.
What is your favorite?
And Jasmine.
And Jasmine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our two biggest sports. We should have them on the show together just to talk sports.
We kind of do that. We had them
right. We did live from Elkhorn a year ago. Live from Elkhorn.
It was people saw at home.
Anyway,
not gonna do that again.
Well, congratulations to the Toronto Blue Jays or the LA Dodgers. One of you are the World Series champion.
Congratulations to that on winning the 2025.
Because I have to have this edited Oh, I guess no. I got to edit this before it comes out.
Or we could just do a video of me saying it after it anyway.
I got to edit this before we even go on our trip. So I don't have time.
We'll bring along. We can edit.
Oh, we can edit together?
You can bring your computer.
Yeah, perfect.
We could, technically.
I can't. It's a desktop.
Yeah, you just take it
I have to take the monitor too.
And then monitor.
Everything in my pocket.
And then, no, in the car.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim show today.
Subscribe, share, comment.
Tim, what is your last piece of advice for everybody that is watching today?
For everyone, have a great week. Enjoy the fall before it gets too cold. We had some rain today. Enjoy every day. Like it's your last. Like it's your last.
Great advice.
Because it could be.
That's great advice. Because it could be.
If I should, what is that prayer that we teach the kids?
If I should die
before I wake. What?
I pray to God my soul to take.
Why
am I dying? Why am I awake?
Nightmares.
Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sharing is caring.